Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
As we welcome one leader in, we say farewell to another. Tonight on the Nightbeat, a look back at the career of Karen Faulks with SAPD and how she's paving the way for females in law enforcement. But first, he tried to make a run for it, but didn't get very far. So tonight, a man looking at life behind bars is facing more charges after he allegedly tried to escape from Bexar County deputies after being convicted and sentenced. The night team's John Paul Barajas was right there as deputies caught the suspect along the Riverwalk.
31-year-old Antoine Foster was facing charges for attempted capital murder of a peace officer with a firearm from 2020.
Foster was at the Bexar County courthouse where he had just been convicted and sentenced to life in prison, but while authorities were trying to load him up, he made a break for it. It was here at the International Center off South St. Mary's and West Market Street where the suspect was caught after being on the run for about 30 minutes or so. People along the Riverwalk at the time said they believed the suspect was hiding out on the third story.
Foster is now facing additional charges of escape, evading on foot, and assault of a public servant for hitting a deputy as he jumped out of the sheriff's office van. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Sources are telling KSAT that Jeff Mulliner has submitted his resignation as chief of the Civil Rights Division at the Bexar County District Attorney's Office. And this is surprising because this is 3 months after Mulliner took over for Daryl Harris. Harris's tenure was marred by mistrials and court filings in which prosecutors were accused of concealing evidence. The Civil Rights Division handles cases like police shootings, in-custody deaths, and also excessive force claims. Now, when we tried to get information, we didn't hear back from the DA's office or Mulliner. Soon, fewer places around San Antonio are going to allow vaping, and that is because the San Antonio City Council is expanding the city's smoke-free ordinance to include vaping. So that means that you're not going to be able to use vape pens or e-cigarettes in the same places where you can't smoke. That includes places like restaurants, indoor venues, and other designated public spaces. If you own a business and you'd like a sign warning people against smoking and vaping, you can contact your city council representative. They'll help you out. And this change takes effect January 1st. City Council also discussing those horse-drawn carriages that you sometimes see downtown. Today, the entire City Council was briefed on a potential plan to phase out those carriages. To be clear, though, members didn't vote on those carriages, but they may do that early December. And if approved, the phasing out process could take anywhere from 1 to 3 years to finish. Mia.
Well, hopefully you all had a very safe and happy Halloween. It was warm out there this afternoon despite a weak cold front pushing into parts of south central Texas. We hit 90 degrees, which actually broke the previous record high, making this the hottest Halloween on record that we've seen here in San Antonio. A few lucky folks managed to find a little bit of rain. Take a look at your rainfall totals estimated here by Authority Radar. Some heftier downpours across our far eastern counties, southern Lavaca County, eastern DeWitt. Localized pockets of 1 to even 2 inches were found, generally upwards of 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch across portions of the hill country. If you managed to find a little bit of light rain, a few sprinkles here in San Antonio earlier today, you can see that it did not amount to very much, just a few hundredths of an inch closer to Bexar County. Now, as of right now, a lot of this green that you're seeing on Authority Radar, that's just radar noise. We've seen a few very stray showers out in Wilson and Gonzales counties over the past couple of hours. Looking ahead to our Friday, an isolated rain chance in store. Temperature still warmer than average as we flip the calendar over to the month of November. Highs in the low 80s, warming up a touch into this weekend, mid to upper 80s with a few more isolated chances for rain. The next big story going to be a cold front arriving late Monday as we look ahead to early next week. This one does look to impact our temperatures a little bit more. We're going to get you a look at all those details coming up in just a few, Steph.
Yeah, those leaves are.
Let's make it official, then we can give her a standing ovation. Let's push the button.
This is my passion. I love the fire service, and I'm very proud to wear the San Antonio Fire Department patch.
We're talking about history in the making. San Antonio will officially have its first female fire chief tomorrow. San Antonio City Council approved Valerie Frausto's appointment. Over the last 24 years, she has served in every division of the fire department except for the arson division. Chief Frausto is from San Antonio and says that she's ready to hit the ground running.
I actually know that operationally we are sound. I think a lot of the improvements are procedural and communication and transparency. But aside from that, that's really going to be our focus, is communication.
So this wasn't always smooth sailing for Frausto because a former fire union president was arrested after he was accused of pretending to be an independent investigator to keep Frausto from applying for the job.
And women are needed, really now more than ever.
And as one new female leader takes command right here in San Antonio, another one is stepping down. Today, we're thanking Karen Faulks. She's an assistant chief with the San Antonio Police Department and is the only the second female to hold that role for the department. Today was her last day before her retirement. The Night Team's Avery Everett shows us how she hopes that her legacy is clear, and it's one of female empowerment.
Every chance I got to promote, I took the chance.
Karen Faulks' office is full.
We took a group photo that day.
But not for much longer.
It truly is hard to even imagine that I'm retiring. This is the only job I've ever had in my life.
After 35 years, Assistant Chief Faulks is retiring from the San Antonio Police Department.
It's bittersweet.
At only 21 years old, Faulks first joined SAPD back in 1989. She started in patrol and worked her way up the chain of command.
I knew that I wanted to advocate for women, and the only way that I could do that was to continue to ascend the ranks.
She is the second female assistant chief for the department.
That's inspiring to any female.
Data shows the national average for women in the police force is 13% of sworn officers, but only 3% of police leadership is filled by females.
Women are here and they can do fantastic things. I learned that as a public servant, you were there not just to put the bad guy in jail, but to help in any way you could.
And she's telling that to the next generation.
She tells them to not stop at being just a patrol officer, to continue to promote.
As Faulks says goodbye to this department.
And my mom's pinning the badge.
She says her work as an advocate for women in policing is far from finished.
As far as what's next for SAPD and this position, Chief William McManus has 90 days to fill this spot. As soon as we learn that decision, we'll keep you updated on KSAT.com. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Of voting. This was your first time, you said?
Yes. So I thought it was really easy. The employees were like super great and they helped me out.
I wanted to make sure that I got my vote in before it got busy.
Did that surprise you to see so many people out?
Yes, ma'am, it has. And to hear the numbers daily, yes, it's great to hear that San Antonio is coming out to vote more and more.
We live in a democracy. We're lucky. It's our right and our duty.
There you have it. Bexar County residents continue to show up to the polls. According to the county elections department, 45,212 of you came out to vote today. If you haven't voted early, you still have one more day to do that. Polls are going to be open tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you want a complete list of polling locations, also sample ballots and anything else that you need to know before you head to the polls, visit the Vote 2024 page over on KSAT.com. And we also break down the busiest and the slowest polling location, so it's a good resource. Time now for a look at your Nightbeat news flash. We'll start here in Spain, where there's a desperate search right now for people after areas near the Mediterranean saw its worst flooding in decades. Leaders say that so far 158 people have died, but they do expect that number to go up because dozens are still missing. Some areas near Valencia got flash flooding after more than a year's worth of rain fell in 8 hours. And leaders say that it could take months for some areas to rebuild. The U.S. government right now watching Ukraine's border very closely because any day now it expects to see 8,000 North Korean troops along that border. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says that Russia has been training North Korean soldiers in artillery, drones, and basic infantry operations. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. Other news now, children at North Central Baptist Hospital saw some superheroes today. Members of the San Antonio Police Department, Fire Department, and SWAT team rappelled down the hospital, saying hello to children in their hospital rooms. Come on, cool surprise. The superhero drop tradition began 10 years ago, and officers, nurses, and physicians look forward to this every single year.
We always joke around and say that this event's bigger than Christmas here because we have the superheroes here every single year.
They rappel from the roof of the Baptist Hospital here in a way to spread cheer to the children who are sick, and it's just a wonderful event.
And I love how this started. It began as a way to honor an SAPD officer's son who had lost his battle with cancer.
So cute. It's my first year, as a grandparent. And it's just fascinating and interesting that the whole theme of it, the whole concept of it, having the community, as you can tell, there's so many people out here.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo, baby.
All right, well, many trick-or-treaters wrap up for the night. Tons of kids actually got a head start early this morning. Our Sarah Costa went to a couple of local schools to look at all the fun Halloween costumes to see how they're celebrating. And you can watch her full story right now on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and the KSAT YouTube page. I'd encourage you to do that, if not for the adorable costumes. By the way, as Halloween starts to close, we want to see your costumes. And here's how to do it. You head on over to KSAT Connect. You upload pictures of you or your kids' costumes. It's also a great chance to show off your Halloween decorations. Basically, anything Halloween related, we want to see pictures of it. The article looks just like that, and we may share some of your pictures over the air. So we would love for you to share them with us. Coming up, he's been running for a long time. But tonight, he's back home in San Antonio. After the break, why a local man was determined to travel across the country on foot.
I'm just a little tired just from the natural progression from this, but I mean, overall, I feel like we're going the right direction.
If you're tired or you're sore from exercising, wait until you hear this story. This guy's back home after a long journey across the country on foot. Kenneth Anderlich started his journey on September 20th, running from Washington, D.C. to San Antonio, and he did it to raise money for a first-of-its-kind recovery center, and he finished his journey just a few hours ago. Wow. Kenneth, who understands the struggles of substance abuse, has leaned on running for his own recovery, and now Kenneth wants to help those who are seeking treatment.
It is an illness, and it's something that it can be treated if you continue to work with that person. How to tackle this problem without the judgment.
Yeah, it's an incredible story of determination. And if you want to see Kenneth's full story, it's inspiring. I promise you, you can watch it on all of our KSAT streaming platforms. You can also scan that QR code in the bottom of your screen to get you started right there to watch that full story. So now that Halloween is almost over, the San Antonio Food Bank needs your help to make Thanksgiving and holiday meals happen for families all over our city. It wants to give away 20,000 turkeys. Anybody in the giving spirit can donate a frozen turkey at the HEBs that you see on your screen. You can donate them Saturdays in November, and all of those donation windows run from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so you can go there between those hours. You can also donate online, and you can also start the process by clicking on this story on our website, KSAT.com. So you know what else is happening in November? Wurst Fest. Yes, my friends, it is back in New Braunfels. The 10-day salute to sausage kicks off tomorrow. The festival highlights German culture with food, music, dance, and so much more. You can go to Wurst Fest for free November 4th through November 7th, and also after 3 p.m. on November 10th. So you only have those days to go there for free. If you want more information about pricing and also times, you can head on over to our website. A bunch of stuff on our website. Speaking of our website, we love it when you send us pictures of, say, the weather, but also Halloween costumes or anything holiday related. Any pictures that you would like to share with us, as long as they're appropriate. We would love to see them. And you have a really nice one behind you, Mia.
I do, yes. I have a couple of photos that I want to show you all of those Halloween costumes, and please continue to send them in, because I know over the next couple of days we would love to show some of them off. We were talking earlier, we just love to see everybody's creativity during this time, right? Go ahead and check out this one. We got a little Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Aww. I love the braids, I love the bows, looking fantastic. How about this little cutie? This is Maddie, 3 years old, posing in her Cat in the Hat costume. Love it. She's got the whiskers there too. How about this beautiful family? It looks like we've got some farmers and their little cow. Oh, so precious. I love the cowboy hats as well. And then, of course, this awesome crew, the Minions. This one from the CBS crew over in Alamo Heights. Looking fantastic, ladies. Love those little goggles as well. All right, so we mentioned 90 degrees was the official high temperature here in San Antonio. A lot of times we don't really equate 90-degree afternoons to Halloween, especially considering last year where our high temperature was 61. So we were warmer than that by almost almost 30 degrees. If you thought that October was abnormally warm, you were right. The numbers are in. The average temperature for this October, 78.5 degrees. That's all of the morning lows, all of the afternoon highs averaged together. This now makes 2024, the month of October, the hottest October that we have ever seen on record as well, with those records dating back to the mid-1880s. Now, still warmer than average into the first weekend of November, but you may be wondering, do we have any fall-like relief on the way? The answer is yes. We are expecting a cold front to work in, a more noticeable cold front by late Monday. Cooler and more seasonable air moves in its wake, with temperatures back down in the 70s. By election day, next Wednesday and into Thursday, that is closer to the average for this time of year, which is 77 degrees here in San Antonio. So let's go ahead and talk about that setup, because we also could catch the tail end of a broken line of rain and thunderstorms on Monday as that front works through. Here's the frontal boundary that pushed through parts of south central Texas today. It stalled out just to the south of San Antonio. You wouldn't know it, though, of course, with those temperatures still very elevated this afternoon. That's going to work farther up to the north as a warm front over the next couple of days. We still have isolated rain chances in the forecast into the upcoming weekend as a result. But into the back half of the weekend, by this coming Sunday, eyes will turn off to the west. A low pressure system working into the central plains looks to drop that more noticeable cold front into the state of Texas. Again, we've got about a 30% chance for a few showers and storms late Monday and into the overnight hours as that boundary pushes through, and then some of that cooler and briefly drier air working in by the middle of next week. In terms of those rain chances, isolated after the front works through, we've generally got a 20 to 30% chance in the forecast tomorrow and into the upcoming weekend as well. We need any rain that we can get. That obviously is not a surprise, considering the drought continues to worsen very rapidly as well. This was the drought monitor update released last Thursday. I want you to pay attention to this red and this orange color. I'm going to go ahead and fade on this week's update that we got in earlier this morning. You can see this pocket of extreme drought continues to expand farther eastward near Austin, San Marcos, even our far eastern counties now under severe drought as that also continues to expand farther off to the east. Now, in terms of the overnight hours, just a few isolated, very light showers as we sleep tonight, mainly well south of San Antonio. Still a few sprinkles could be possible for the morning commute tomorrow. Generally isolated at 20% chance throughout the first half of the day. Then notice after 2 to 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we'll bump that up to a 30% potential for a few more isolated showers to maybe a stray downpour will be a possibility there as well. Coverage still somewhat isolated temperature-wise, starting off warm and muggy near 70 degrees. We'll be in the upper 70s for any lunchtime plans that you have around noon. There's that forecast high temperature in the low 80s. So as we put this all together for you, warming up a few degrees into the upcoming weekend as we get ready to flip those clocks back an hour. Daylight saving time ending 2 a.m. Sunday morning, then watching for that fall-like air to work in next week. Low temperatures potentially could bottom out in the 50s, especially by Wednesday morning. In the meantime, let's go out there with live cam. Steph, I have a question for you.
Okay.
This is a controversial topic, I feel like, sometimes. So, you know, now that Halloween is over and we're in November, are you one of those people that's like, okay, it's Christmas, let's decorate? Or do we have to wait until Thanksgiving before we decorate for Christmas?
I like to wait until after Thanksgiving because you want to give Thanksgiving its fair due, because it is my favorite holiday.
I'm with you.
It's all about getting together with the family, good food. Come on.
I'm totally with you.
All right. So one thing I'm looking forward to now, I mean, I keep looking at my phone because could the Spurs have this one against Utah?
Yeah, I mean, they're seconds away from that game going final. Looks like the Spurs are going to take care of business. A successful bounce-back effort after falling to OKC last night. Wemby and CP3 clicking tonight. And so much action going down on the gridiron, BGC and NFL after the break. A spooky night of big game coverage next in Big Board Sports. The Spurs are in Utah tonight, trying to bounce back from their frightening loss to OKC last night. The Jazz are without Lauri Markkanen, but they do have San Antonio's own Jordan Clarkson, who is ready for battle. First quarter, Victor Wembanyama matches his point total from last night with back-to-back triples in the opening minutes. Now, the two-man game between Wemby and Chris Paul will haunt you. What a pass from Paul, and it's Wemby with the finisher. This game just went final. It was a back-and-forth game. Spurs took the lead in the third quarter after trailing 53-47 at halftime, and they never looked back. San Antonio 106, the Jazz 88. Wemby finished with 25 points. CP3 had 19. Well, Halloween football went down all around San Antonio tonight. First up, two District 28 6A teams in playoff position facing off at Gustafson Stadium, fifth-ranked Brennan and Taft. The Bears forced the Raiders to punt deep in their own zone, and it's Tristan Escobar on the return. The senior stays on his feet and gets in for the 52-yard punt return touchdown. Look at him go. And the Bears put the pedal to the metal from there, winning 69-0 to stay undefeated in district play. Staying in District 28 6A, O'Connor on the outside of the playoff picture looking in, and up 21-0 on Stevens when we arrive. The Panthers defense gets in on the scoring. Jeremy Maldonado houses the 30-yard pick six, and O'Connor comes away with the important district victory, 41-6 the final over Stevens. At SA ISD Sports Complex, the undefeated Post Pirates in town taking on YMLA. First possession for the Pirates. Major Luna tosses out a screen pass to Kane Stover, who uses his blockers, taking this one 30 yards to the house. The Pirates stealing all the candy on Halloween as Post trick-or-treats its way to a 49-0 shutout victory. Now to Alamo Stadium, where the Sam Houston Hurricanes led 14-0 when we arrived in the second quarter. But not so fast. The Highland Owls are ready to fly. Adam Garcia gets in some trouble, and he heaves it up, and Jeremiah McCain snags it and breaks free for a 90-yard touchdown. What a play. But Sam Houston would dominate in the second half, winning 38-7. Well, it was a quick turnaround for the 6-2 Houston Texans taking on the 2-6 New York Jets in primetime. The Jets come in trying to avoid their first six-game losing skid since 2022. Meanwhile, the Texans are down two of their leading receivers, but still second in the AFC after defeating Indianapolis on Sunday. Let's look at a live scoring update between the Jets and the Texans late in the fourth quarter, and the Jets have the 21-10 advantage. All right, after the break, we'll hear from San Antonio's star boxer Mario Barrios ahead of his fight later this month. Welcome back. San Antonio's Mario Barrios is busy training in Las Vegas as he prepares for his first Netflix fight. El Azteca will be featured on the undercard of the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight in mid-November. Sports producer Daniel Villanueva caught up with Barrios to talk about his upcoming title defense against Abel Ramos.
There hasn't been a fight I've seen him in, where he didn't make it competitive. And, he has the chance, to be a world champion, come November 15th. And I know he's not taking it lightly. So I'm just doing, whatever I can, to prepare myself, for the best possible Abel, that anybody has seen.
We'll have more with El Azteca Sunday night during Instant Replay. And hey, a quick update on that Houston game. They're down 8 points right now with about 30 seconds left.
All right. Thank you for that. And we'll be right back. Can't say it enough. I hope that you had a wonderful Halloween with your family. Have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow.